The next kind of simple machine that we're going to look at is called an incline plane. And the setup is this. You have a heavy box, that's going to be your load force that you want to lift. And let's say that you want to raise it to the height of this shelf here. So to this height, and the height that you want to lift the load, I'm going to call that Y load. So this is going to be Y load here. And let's say, so if you walk up to it by yourself, all you're going to be able to do is apply a small force FA. And it's not going to be enough to lift the load, so you want to figure out a way to amplify the force that you apply. And the way you're going to amplify your force in the setup of an incline plane is like this. Is you're just going to take up another plank, but now you're going to set it at an incline so that you're going to take a long plank. And what this is going to do is that instead of you having to directly take the load and take all your effort to raise it up this height here, which is relatively small, all you have to do is take I'm just going to exaggerate it here. So all you need to do is set up a plank so that the plank is as long as you can manage. So the longer the better. So if you can make the plank very long, then what you'll find is that it's going to be easy for you to walk the plank. So you're going to apply a force FA here. So you're going to apply a force FA, and you're going to apply it to the load force, but you're going to apply it over this longer distance here. And I'm going to call that distance dA. And you find that it's going to be easy for you to do that. Instead of taking all your effort to raise it up vertically over the short distance, you're just going to set up an incline plane so that you just have to apply a small force, but over this longer distance dA here. So here is a setup for this equation. Let me just kind of redraw it again here. So you have your load, and you want to raise your load to a height YL. So you want to raise the load here to a height YL, so the F load, you want to raise it to there. But instead of you having to apply a lot of force over this short distance, you're going to apply a small amount of force, but over this bigger distance here. So you're going to apply the force FA over this bigger distance dA. And the concept is similar. The work that you apply is going to equal the work that it takes to lift the load. It's just that the way that you set up the machine is different here. This is going to equal the work that it takes to lift the load. And in terms of the formula, work is force times distance. So the force that you apply multiplied by the distance dA that you walk the box up the incline plane is going to equal the work that it takes to lift the load. So the load force, or the load weight, multiplied by the height YL that you want to raise the load. So this is the same basic formula as for a lever, it's just that the variables are slightly different. And the next formula is similar also. So the point is that if you have an incline plane, it's going to be able to give you a different kind of magnification. It's going to be able to magnify your force differently because it's a different machine. And so you can just say that the force that you apply, the incline plane is going to magnify it by this much here, MA, and that's going to allow you to lift the force F load. So this is the same formula from before. The only thing is that MA is going to be different for the incline plane, but it's the same formula. And again, these are the two basic formulas that you need, but you can do some algebra and rewrite these two in terms of a third equation, which is this one here, which is, I guess, optional. It would be the applied distance is going to equal the mechanical advantage or the magnification of the incline plane multiplied by the height Y that you want to lift the load. But again, you can get that one just from out of these two here. So now we're going to look at an application of an incline plane that we use every day, and that is a knife or a wedge. So the point is that if you have this object here and you want to let's say that you try to take your hands and press your hands through it. It's not going to happen. So you're trying to apply a force to push it through this block here, but it's not going to cut through. So what you can do is, if you want to cut through it, then you actually take two inclined planes, which is a wedge. So what you'll have then is, so this is your hand pushing down, and you're going to take one inclined plane like this here, and you're going to take another inclined plane like that, so that they're both going to be able to amplify the force that you apply. And now you can actually cut through something like wood that you wouldn't be able to do just with your hands. So a knife is actually two inclined planes connected together, and that's called a wedge.